welcome to another Children's Chapel, Unitarian Society of New Haven. My name is Jesse Greist, Director of Lifespan Religious Education. I was just spending some time in the house here today with my hang drum, playing a little bit of music, and wanted to play some for you. And I wanted to invite you to worship with me this morning. So we're going to begin with a song, and the words are over here to my right. So in just a moment, I'm going to get my guitar and we're going to sing this song together. This song is called The Chalice We Light, and it's going to be our chalice lighting this morning. So when I finish this song, I'll turn around and light our chalice. I'm going to sing it through, let's say 3 times, so that you'll get the idea of it and you can sing it with me. So it goes like this. This chalice we light, light, light. We seek what is right, right, right. We love from the heart, heart, heart. Right from the start, start, start. The choices we make, make. We learn from mistakes, stakes, stakes. In all that we do. We see what is true for me and you. Chalice we light, light, light. We seek what is right, right, right. We love from the heart, heart, heart. Right from the start, start, start. The choices we make. We learn from mistakes, stakes, stakes. In all that we do. We seek what is true, true, true. And last time, please sing out with me this time. This chalice we light, light, light. We seek what is right, right, right. We love from the heart, heart, heart. Right from the start, start, start. The choices we make. We learn from mistakes, stakes, stakes. In all that we do. We seek what is true for me and you. This chalice we light. Thank you for singing that with me. I'm going to put my guitar down now, and we will light our chalice, which is up here. The chalice is lit, and we are ready to go further into our children's chapel. So I wanted to give you a moment, if you can, if you are sitting with other people right now, siblings, parents, friends, I'd like you to take a moment to pause this video and to check in with each other. Share your joys and your concerns, and I also invite you, if you are so inclined, to send me those joys and concerns, and I can share them with everyone else. You can send those to family@usnh.org. So at this time, please pause the video for a moment and take some time for your joys and your concerns. Welcome back. I hope that you had a good moment with friends and family, sharing your joys and concerns. I would like to now go a little bit deeper into our chapel service this Sunday, which is again thinking about a little bit deeper about the choices we have been making in our whole lives, and particularly lately about listening to the advice of the people that are in our society that are telling us to do the right thing. As Unitarian Universalists, we each spend a lot of our lives figuring out what our own truth is and following our own moral code, or our code of what is right and wrong. So I wanted to invite you into a time of meditation. I'd like to ask you to think for a moment and imagine for just a moment with me that you are leaving your house. This is just in your minds, in your imagination. Imagine yourself leaving your house to go on a walk. You walk out your front door, and wherever you are in the world, you come down the steps of your house if you have them, or you do what it takes to get out to the road nearby. And you start walking along that road. And as you walk along that road, you come to a place where one road meets and intersects with another road, called an intersection. Now, a lot of us, when we come to an intersection, we see a sign like this one, a stop sign. And we know that that sign means that before walking across that road to the other side, we should stop and look and make sure that there's no cars or bicycles or other people coming that could hurt us as we cross the street. But imagine that this time, as you walk across down the street, imagine that you come to a corner by another street and there is not a stop sign there. There's nothing there that's reminding us that the right thing to do is to stop and check and see if anyone else is coming. We have a question for ourselves. We have a dilemma. No one from our city or our town or our state has come and put a sign there to tell us to stop. But we know in our minds and in our hearts that the right thing to do is to stop and look and check and make sure nobody's coming. The question that we have is, do we still have to stop and look both ways, even if there's nothing there and no one there telling us that we have to? Now, I know that most of us will probably just out of habit stop and look both ways and then continue once we know it's safe to cross. But the question that many of us are asking ourselves in today's world is it still necessary to stop and look and check for safety even if no one is telling us to? That is our question today. And even though the question that so many of us are talking about in our lives is not exactly the question of streets or what happens, it's a different question. It's a question of when our town and our state, and in fact our whole country, sends a message to all the people that says the safe thing to do is to stay at your home and to not go into parks, not go into public spaces, not even go into places where you go shopping all at the same time, but to keep distance from each other. The question so many of us are asking ourselves is, do we have to do that even if nobody is watching and nobody is telling us that there's a consequence or a punishment for doing those things? So, as Unitarian Universalists, we ask ourselves, what is right, and should I do what is right, even when nobody is telling me that I have to do what is right? We're going to pause the video here and come back to you in just a moment. So I want you to imagine what it's been like the last couple of weeks with hundreds, thousands, even millions of people across the country making these decisions of what is right. And as they've done that, people have had to think, do I go out to parks? Do I go out to work? Do I go out to the store? And if I do I buy what I need? Or do I just buy everything because I'm afraid that everybody else is going to buy everything? And so if we think about our street corner that we talked about before, what would it be like if everybody at every time came up to the street corner and there was no stop sign there? And so everybody just decided to go, 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 go. I think it would probably look a little bit like this. Yeah, that was pretty much a total mess. And honestly, that's kind of what it's felt like for me the last couple of times I've gone into a store. I have tried very much so to keep stay at home, stay with my son Cedro and my wife Sandra, and to keep people around us safe while still connecting with people through these videos and through social media and all of that good stuff. And so I hope, and my invitation is that you will as well in the coming weeks as we continue to build a new community with each other. I put up on the screen here some words that I think are pretty important for all of us to keep in mind during this time, which is, again, these words, it says, integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. And this quote is attributed to C.S. Lewis, the writer, who we may know as the writer who wrote Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, also known as Through the Looking Glass. Now, what these words mean to me is the same thing as that street corner, that when you come up to a street corner and there's no stop sign there or nobody telling us to stop and to look both ways, we still do it. Why? Because we know it's the right thing to do, it's the safe thing to do, and it's going to keep ourselves and the people around us safe by doing it. So even when nobody is telling us that we have to stay in our homes and keep a little bit of distance between ourselves, our neighbors, our friends, even some family members that we love, it's important for us to know that by keeping that distance, we are keeping ourselves safe and keeping them safe. Now, that does not mean that we have to stop our lives. I know so many of you are still connecting with your friends by phone calls, by texting, by reaching out through social media. I know so many of you are discovering new and exciting ways to be with your family, cooking together, reading together, playing together, even doing school type work together with your families. And I hope that that is going well for you and that you can see it as an act of love and an act of compassion when you do that with each other, when you spend that time with each other. I also wanted to let you know that there are a few safe ways that our church community, Unitarian Society of New Haven, is still continuing to care for each other. There are people in our community who would love to receive a phone call or a letter. I know many of you have already been writing letters to some of our members that live by themselves. If you would like to write a letter to somebody, please let me know by sending me an email at family@usnh.org, and I can give you somebody's name and address to write to. People are also very excited to receive phone calls. I know a lot of you have been reaching out to your buddies from the Buddy program from this year or even from years in the past. Please continue to do that. I know if you're watching this before Saturday, there is a way for us to continue to help provide food to people who don't have enough to eat during this time. In the parking lot of USNH this Saturday from 10 a.m. until noon, People are going to be there receiving food donations for the food bank. And there will be people in masks and gloves to help keep them and us safe who can receive bags of food. There are so many other ways in which we are helping. My wife, actually, Sandra, yesterday spent the whole day sewing medical masks for people that are working in Yale New Haven Hospital to help keep their faces covered because they don't have enough masks. So there are so many things I've been hearing about, and that you probably too have been hearing about, that help keep us safe during this time. And I invite you to share those with me, and I can help share them with our community. And I also just wanted to say that I also very much deeply appreciate hearing from you, either through an email or a phone call, or really through any other social media contact. I would love to talk to you in the coming days and keep that contact alive. So please, please, please don't be afraid to reach out, and I will do the same. I have also been keeping our Google document from the first of these children's chapels updated, so you can keep looking at that, and new people are sending things in. Just this week, I actually got a few photographs of some of you watching the YouTube videos and watching the children's chapels and singing along and dancing along to the music. So I encourage you to do that as well. And if you'd like me to share that with the rest of the community, I certainly can. For now, I'm going to end this video and say goodbye. I'm going to end with a little bit more music from the hang drum. I will extinguish our chalice and have a wonderful, wonderful week until we are together in this virtual space again. So I will extinguish our chalice. But of course, even though I extinguish the chalice, I do not extinguish the light, the love, and the hope that lives in each of you. I'm going to play us out now, and our video will stop. We'll see you all next time. Take care and be well.